Officer Chris, and, he was at the house, as a matter of fact, maybe half an hour prior to this incident. And we were discussing, because I had talked to him about Colin's, he was arrested and—
Ms. Cortez?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, got to stick with questions.
Okay, yeah. So what I'm saying is, how would we know if he was really lying or not? Basically, would you have known if he had lied in the beginning because he did call it in as a stray?
Okay, I don't believe that Colin was lying about that because I can't see any reason why he would do so. And you and Colin's story was both consistent about it being the dog Minnie.
Okay. That's it.
Thank you.
Any redirect?
No, thank you.
Thank you, Officer Tennyson.
Next, I would ask Anthony Gall to come forward, please. And actually, if you want to come on up here by the table as well. And
Now I'll have, raise your right, keep saying raise your right hand, grab the microphone, and then.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right.
thanks, Anthony. If you can state your name for the record and spell your last name as well, please.
Anthony Gall, Gall.
And where do you live, Anthony?
4315 Liberty Court.
Okay. And so you used to own Minnie?
Yes.
Can you tell the committee how you came to be the owner of Minnie and maybe what happened when you turned him over?
So I got him probably in I think it was March of 2021 or 2022. Somebody was just selling him or getting rid of him for free, and I picked him up. And ever since I had him, he's never done anything like this. He's not the type of dog that would do anything like this. Mm-hmm. Anyone that he ever meets, gets along with. Yeah, I mean, he's a perfect dog. He listens. This is just out of nowhere, random.
Do you mind if I ask, when did you turn him over to your mom?
I guess 7 or 8 months sounds about right.
Okay. And can you tell the committee why?
Yeah, I had a baby and we didn't have enough space and enough time that I could attend to him, take him out, bathroom, all that, walks. So I gave him up because my mom has, time, space, all that.
Yeah. Well, congrats on being a dad.
Yeah.
Have there ever been any issues with his behavior towards anyone else in the past?
Never. Like I said, it was out of the ordinary. When they called me, I was in shock that it even happened.
What about when you've taken him to the vet?
Oh yeah, there was one instance where his ears were infected, badly infected, and he wouldn't like me getting near his ears either. But he would never show aggression either. But I think the instance at the vet, he got traumatized a little bit. He was pinned down by the vets there, and we had to hold him down to be able to get a shot in his ear. So yeah.
Did they ask you to do anything before you brought him back after that?
Yeah, he was. We were told to give him calming medicine before he comes over to the vet. Yeah.
That was trazodone?
Yeah, I guess so.
Anything else that they asked you to do?
No, just a trazodone.
Okay, they didn't ask you about muzzling him before he came in?
Nope. They asked. That first time they asked, we should probably bring in a muzzle. He does get kind of a little snippy, I guess. I mean, but it's his ears.
Okay. Did they tell you at some point that he actually tried to bite one of the staff at the vet?
Yeah, I was there when that happened. That was when they were pinning her down, and the muzzle got a little loose, and he tried.
Okay. So he had been muzzled already at that point?
Yeah, and the muzzle came off.
Okay. And so when you went back to the vet after that, did you do what they asked to prepare him for that visit?
He hasn't been to the vet since that instance. But yeah, this last time we did it. It was his first quarantine checkup. We took all the precautionary things to do, just in case this happens. Muzzled him. They didn't ask for it. We muzzled him. And then after the first visit, they asked us to give him the calming medication. It'd be better for him, better experience for him, and to muzzle him. Well, they didn't ask to muzzle. We already had a muzzle for him, so Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to show you something. And then I got to get into the committees in a second.
Thank you.
Same letters and numbers.
3. Yeah.
Anthony, can you tell me what that document is?
Yeah, it says veterinary records.
And this is the records that you sent me last week, or,
Yep.
well, 2 weeks ago now?
Yep.
Okay. I just want to call out a couple of things if you can kind of follow along with me, just to make sure we have a clear picture of it. So on the very first page, if you go to the first page, about 2/3 of the way down under health history summary, there's an entry dated 8/21 of 24. What does that say?
Aggressive.
Okay. And then if you, actually, let's go all the way to the, let's see here, would be page 5. Nice that they numbered them for us. So towards the top, there's a question that says, do you have any behavior concerns? And it says none, and then there's a paragraph after that. Can you read maybe the first part of that?
Sorry, where?
Right under where it says, do you have any behavior concerns? None.
It says, dog is very nervous here with Anthony. Discussed behavior and anxiety, fearful, discussed anxiety, situational as he is fine elsewhere. Recommended trazodone for vet visits. We want to provide positive experiences for dogs over their lifetimes as fear-free care. Discuss situational anxiety. Not a dosing for his needs. May need a second medication. Great work with soft nylon muzzle.
And then, yeah, the next line, O placed nylon muzzle for exam. I just want to clarify that means that you put the muzzle on him for that exam. Is that right?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. This is the October 14th?
Yes. No. This October 14th is at the top. That's the date that the records were produced. So this would have been 9/2 of 23. It looks like at the top of page 4.
Okay.
Is what that date was. And so, I'm guessing is their abbreviation for owner. I just wanted to confirm that you put the nylon muzzle on before the exam?
Yeah.
Okay. And then if you go back to page 3, so this would be the visit from 8/21 of 24. And so about halfway, well, about a third of the way down page 3, it says plan section. And then under notes, there's like the third line starts discussed. Do you mind reading that one for us?
Under 821?
Just above 8/21, yep.
This trazodone 100 milligram. Night before appointment, 1 to 1.5 hours prior to appointment. Owner declined HWT and preventatives. Discussed with owner that he should be given the trazodone before coming in here. He was not given any at this time.
Okay. And then, so is that an accurate indication that he did not get the trazodone when you brought him in for that visit?
I mean, I guess so. I don't really remember. I probably forgot to give it to him.
Okay. And then just the last thing, right at the top of that page, it says objective section.
Yeah.
Can you just read that, the
Growled,
first 3 lines?
tried to bite in room, took him back, muzzled, urinated, and defecated.
Okay. All right. Would you say that that's consistent with your recollection of how things happened when you took him to the vet?
Yeah, I mean, he's also very nervous if he's urinating and defecating, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think even on that same page that you said, it said that he is fine everywhere else, but nervous here.
Yeah.
Situational as he's fine elsewhere.
That's what you explained to the staff there?
And I mean, yeah.
Okay. So one other question I just wanted to ask about, when you, in your letter, you explained that Minnie is scared around men he doesn't know well.
Yeah.
Can you explain what you meant by that statement?
Yeah, so I realized that, like, we live, like, right on the corner of Pennsylvania at this time. If any men were to walk around the corner, he would get very alert and defensive. He wouldn't growl, but he never barks. Besides when he sees other men around. And just from, like, what I think it's from is, I think it's the owner before me. Probably was, like, abusive, I guess. That's just what I think it is, because he's never shown that to me or anyone else. But he's, like, fine with my dad, he's fine with my brothers. It's just random men. Yeah.
And he's obviously quite familiar with your younger brother, Colin, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they've lived together for several months. They've played together.
Colin's always over at my house. Nothing's ever happened like this.
Okay. All right. Thanks. That's all the questions I have for you. Your mom might have some questions for you.
So, Anthony, would you believe, I just only have one question, would you believe that, his behaviors in areas where he is not known to be, do you believe that his behavior of being scared and nervous is natural? Because, it's his first time being at the vet, correct?
Yeah, that's true.
And the way that he, behaved was basically off of a first visit. Even when you were a little kid, you were scared of going to the doctor and, stuff like that. It's the same common belief that I believe Minnie's the same way.
True.
That's all I had to ask.
Do you have any follow-up, Chief? No? All right. Thank you, Mr.
Thanks,
Call.
Anthony. Would it be appropriate for me to call Angela for testimony?
You're certainly welcome to call her, or you're welcome to ask her questions on cross-examination after she's done testifying on her own behalf.
I think if you're agreeable to it, Angela, I'd like to ask you questions to start with here.
That's fine.
All right, so then come on up to the front, and I'll swear you in.
Wait, right here or over there?
There or there, whichever you prefer.
Just stay at the
If you'd like to
podium,
stand or sit. All right, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Angela, again, if you can state your name and spell your last name for the record.
Angela Cortez, Cortez.
And what's your address?
1326 North 12th Street, Unit 9.
And did I hear you just had surgery?
Yeah.
Everything on the mend? Doing well?
Yeah, I'm just a little sore, hurts when I walk. I just had PT before I got here, so it really hurt on my way here.
Oh, yeah, I can imagine. Well, at least there's an elevator to get up to the third floor here, so thanks for being here.
There was no elevator on the stairs in the front.
Oh, yeah. So you've lived at 1326 North 12th for how long?
3 years, I believe, or maybe a little bit more.
And how long has Colin lived with you?
Basically about the same, 3 years and maybe a little bit more.
Okay, and Colin's just recently become an adult and is planning to move out?
I hope so.
So you had mentioned that the dog had growled earlier when Colin was in the room with you. Can you just tell the committee about how that happened?
Okay, so I was laying on the bed because I have the projector up above the ceiling, facing the ceiling, so that I could watch a movie. And I had my ass pack on my knee for the swelling and stuff like that, and when it's in pain. And as I was laying there, Minnie was relaxing right next to me, right next to my hip. And Colin came in, and I had asked him to, I told him to remove the ice pack. And that's when, he started growling at Colin, because Colin had just, approached me, and I think he just got home too. So, yeah, that was only when it happened, when he growled at him.
And does he growl like that at other times when people approach you?
No.
Has he ever growled at Colin like that before?
No.
Okay. So that's not normal behavior from Minnie, you would say, to growl especially at a family member?
Yeah. I've had a lot of people over at the house, and, even, I had a lot of people over in and out of the house all the time, and he's never acted in no other way with Colin or with everybody else I've met.
Yeah. And so is that behavior that you would expect from Minnie under those circumstances, to growl at Colin?
What was that? I'm sorry.
Is that behavior that you would expect from Minnie to growl at Colin like that?
I mean, the room was dark and we were just laying there because I was relaxing, trying to fall asleep and stuff. Colin just came in just to talk to me for a little bit. But I don't know. To me, it was like he was protecting me because, I was just laying there. It was just us in our own zone, just relaxing, and Colin just came up. And then when I had asked him, I don't know what Minnie was thinking, but, he was just relaxing right next to me. So
did you do anything to correct Minnie when he exhibited that behavior toward Colin at that point?
Yeah. What I did was I told him no, and I said, no, don't do that. And then after that, because I couldn't get up regardless. It takes me a while to get up. But I just said no, and then, Minnie just stayed right next to me. And then that's when I had asked Colin to put the cone on Minnie. That's why I was kind of confused when he said that the cone was on the whole time, because he didn't have the cone on. He hasn't been wearing the cone for the longest. Just that one, I don't even think he hasn't had it on for a long time. Because he had on his face, he had where facial was, he was losing facial, or his hair or whatever, and then on his tail. So we were trying to get him to stop doing that. And, that's mainly why I asked, because I saw him licking or chewing or whatever. Cause that's why I had taken him to critter care, because I knew there was something wrong with Minnie, because he's always scratching and stuff. So that's why I took him in, and I had asked for them to transfer the information from Sheboygan's vet's hospital to critter care.
Okay. And yeah, allergies, I'm sure, for pets, especially dogs, are a pretty stubborn thing to try to work out. So, and so I just want to clarify too, because Colin had kind of explained the sequence of events, and I just wanted to make sure we had your recollection of how long before, when he took the ice pack off and Minnie growled at him at that point, to when the bite took place. Do you remember how long that was about?
With the whole incident, because to me, it was like 10, 15 minutes. Because, from the second that he tried to remove the ice pack, I had asked him to take him out, and he's like, or to put the cone on. And then he was like, F no, or hell no. Sorry for my language. He said, hell no. And then he said that, you know what, I'm going to take him outside, because, what dog doesn't love going outside? So he went outside with Colin, and it didn't even last 10 minutes, because I've noticed that with Ashton and Colin, that they can take them outside, and then within a couple of minutes, they're back inside. It doesn't take that long. Probably that's why I was like saying the whole incident probably took 10, 15 minutes before the attack happened. So he didn't give him time to cool down from the first incident from when it happened, where he growled at him.
And do you remember, was there any growling that took place right before the bite, or kind of associated with that, like after the 10 or 15 minutes that you think was between when he growled with the ice pack?
Like I said, I was within the 10, 15 minutes when they came back in from outside. Colin had went in for a hug when I specifically told him to put the cone on so that, he would stop itching, and I don't know, using his teeth to, or licking his paws, or using his teeth to get his tail.
Scratch, yeah.
Yeah, that's I couldn't think of the word. So he was doing that, so that's why I'm like, I had reminded Colin that, put the cone back on. And then when that incident happened, I was like, I was surprised, because like I said, it between 10, 15 minutes, he went from growling to that, and, the incident happened.
So just to be clear, there wasn't any growling right before the bite that you remember? Okay. And did you see it take place, or was it dark in there?
It was dark in there, but I heard Colin hit the closet door, because I have 2 closet doors in the walls, or you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I usually have them open because, I hate opening and closing them, especially with my walker. And I heard him bump into the wall, and I went like this because I'm still laying flat down, and went like this, and I saw that, and I was like, Minnie, no. And then the kids, Keisha and Ashton, had walked into the room, and by then he had stopped biting Colin.
Okay.
And then, yeah.
Okay. How many dogs do you own, Angela?
Right now I have 2, a small teacup, I think they're called, a Shih Tzu.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like a small.
Okay. What's her name? Is that Princess?
Yeah.
Okay. And then Minnie is the other one? Mm-hmm. Did you have another dog this summer?
Yeah, I had, well, he wasn't my dog. It was my boyfriend's dog at the time, Ruben Aguilar. It was his phone. I told him, we wanted a small dog, and, we tried to give him back to the owner, but Anthony had told us that the previous owner was beating Cash at the time. And he was like, no, I'd rather, you guys stay with him, or, take him to the Humane Society. And by then, Ruben had fell in love with the dog and didn't want to take the dog to the Humane Society. Till this day, he still asks about Cash and stuff like that. And I told him so many times, I can't take care of him because, I'm going to have surgery. I don't know how long it's going to take for me to get back on my feet, going to work and stuff like that. I'm like, it's hard for me, and the kids are never basically home. Colin's never home. He comes home every once in a while home, but, to be honest, he comes home drinking. So, he's got alcohol in his system. So, and that day he did come home, and he did smell, he was drinking before he came home that day. I don't know if had something to do with alcohol prior. I have no idea. But, that was the thing that with Cash, he was a really good dog. He was, but he had a strong force. And that's when I told Ruben I can't take care of him, because if I go outside, it's either, the walker or me.
Yeah, he's a big boy, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just looked at his pictures at the Humane Society. I think today we were looking at it, and I saw the video and stuff like that, and I do miss him because, I love dogs too. My dad had dogs, and some of them were put to sleep because, some back then the Mexican family would have them guarding the house and stuff like that. And he had put them down. That's why I never wanted to get close to a dog. And then, I was close to Cash, and I'm really close now to Minnie. Like I said, he wakes up with me, goes to sleep with me everywhere I go. When I'm walking throughout the house, he's always making sure, he's behind me, making sure, when I go to the bathroom and stuff like that, he always wants to go with me. He's taking care of me and stuff like that.
I just want to talk about Cash a little bit. So there was an issue with Cash getting out of the house.
Yeah, because he's so strong. When they would take him outside, it would be hard for him because, there was a couple times where Keisha would take, Cash out. I was going to say Minnie. And, she's skinnier and smaller than Cash. So, she even went chasing after him, and she has asthma, and, she had a hard time, keeping up with Cash and stuff like that.
How many times do you think, if you had to kind of put a guess together, how many times has Cash gotten out and gotten away?
Probably more than probably a handful, because I remember a couple of times, because I don't know, I don't know how you want to say it for that moment, kind of slow, I guess, because I went outside to shovel snow. I'm the type of person that want to do everything by myself. So when it was snowing outside, I'm the one trying to, shovel snow and stuff like that. And for some reason, when I took him out, I was shoveling the snow, and I realized I took my hand off his collar, and he stood still. And I was like trying to debate, should I finish shoveling or should I put him in, because there was still snow out there. It was like probably like, I don't know how to describe it, like probably up to here or something like that. And, it took me a while to realize that I didn't have my hand on his collar anymore. And by that time, he was already gone.
Okay. And so the last time that Cash ran away, how did you find out about where he ended up?
I believe, because I took him outside. I believe it was me that took him outside. I can't remember. He ran out, and I was just like, you know what? I can't chase him, I can't, run after him, and stuff like that. And I don't remember if I was still in the walker at that moment.
So an officer came to talk to you about that time?
Yes. I forgot who he was.
If it would have been around end of July 23rd, sound about right for that?
I'm not sure on the dates. I'm not, because with my ADHD, I have bad memory and I can't recall moments.
Do you have an idea how long he was gone before the officer came?
Maybe half an hour.
Half an hour? Okay.
Maybe less.
And did you go out and look? You said you didn't go out and look for him that time?
No, the kids came. They all went to go look for him, but they couldn't find him.
Okay.
By that far, usually where he would go would be like straight. So it'd be going like towards the lake, and he would go down because he went by a family that would feed him steaks. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, well, if I would run away, I would want to be going by a house that's going to give me steaks, Because we don't give them steaks, we give them dog food, until this time. I even asked, I'll text Anthony what I can feed, how much and what can I give Minnie, because, I want him to live longer and stuff like that. So, I'm kind of like, can I give him this or can I give him that? And these people are giving him steaks.
Yeah. Do you remember what the officer that came that day told you about how many times the Humane Society had Minnie dropped off there? I'm sorry, had Cash dropped off there after getting out of the house?
No, I can't recall that moment.
If it was 5 times, does that sound like that would be an accurate number? Is that reasonable?
I really can't recall.
Okay.
I don't want to say yes and it's less, and I don't want to say no,
And so, did the officer give you some citations for that?
Yeah, he gave me 2.
And do you remember?
I just went to the police station finally because I've been having a hard time, with walking with this and then with surgery and stuff like that. So I just went there today to drop off those papers. I emailed them to Zempel, and
That's
then
me. Yep. Yep.
I didn't know that. I wasn't sure.
Yep. I got him this afternoon, and so you dropped off the quarantine paperwork for Minnie, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I dropped those. What I had sent to you, I did drop them off at the police station because I didn't want, I didn't want to have any issues with that. So while I was there, I was talking to the lady on the other side to do monthly payments for Cash.
Do you remember what those 2 tickets were for?
One was. No, I can't. I can't recall.
So one of them was for dog at large. Does that sound right? Or unrestrained dog at large?
Possibly, and I think the other one was failure to license.
Okay, yep.
Because I didn't know how that worked, because I thought, with licensing, I thought it was the same thing as, taking them to the vet and getting them that tag. Mm-hmm. That's what I thought what it was initially. So I didn't know anything about that, and I did pick up papers to do prints today when I was there, because when I was talking to the man on the other side, I seen that on the pile, and I was talking to the other lady, and I just grabbed a couple, and they said that I could also mail them in, and then they would send back the paper for the vaccinations, I think.
Do you remember, did the officer this summer tell you to get your other dog's license so that he didn't have to come back and cite you for those?
No, I can't recall that moment.
Okay. But you got a ticket for one unlicensed dog in July. And then when were the other 2 dogs licensed?
Oh, I had, as far as I remember, I only had 2. And I thought those were the ones that were just recent for Cash. And then plus the one for Minnie.
So was Minnie licensed on the 12th when the bite took place?
Like I said, I assumed that with that little take that they get, that was being part of licensed, because, you know, I've never had owned a dog and then had issues with them. So I didn't know that you had to license your dog. That's why, you know, I had said that I got the papers for Princess to get her registered, because I saw them right there on the front desk. So yeah, as far as I knew, I thought their little tag that they gave you at the vet saying that they got the rabies shots, I thought that was part of their licensing.
And so you've gotten this year 2 citations for unlicensed dog?
I thought it was one, and then the other one was at large, or whatever the one you had said it was.
Okay, did you get cited for not having cash licensed? I'm sorry, so you got cited for not having cash licensed this summer?
Yeah.
Did you get cited for not having mini licensed a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, but because I didn't know that he wasn't registered, that's when I had messaged him about it. I messaged Anthony about it and asking him, and he kept telling me that he did. And then I guess that's when he found out that he wasn't registered.
Okay.
But as far as I knew, I thought he was registered.
All right. Thank you. I think that's all I have.
All right, thank you. I have one question from the commission. What breed is Minnie?
Corgi, Pitbull.
Okay. Chief Semple, do you have anything further in your case, or is it time to allow Ms. Cortez to present hers?
Yep, that's all I have.
All right. Oh, sorry. Do you know what Minnie's age is?
No.
Okay, do you know how old Minnie was when adopted?
I believe he was under a year old.
Okay. And then I believe you had said that it was adopted by Anthony about 7 to 8 months ago, or was that when it was transferred from Anthony to you?
It was transferred from Anthony to me.
So it was in your house for about 7 to 8 months?
Yeah.
Okay. That is all the questions from the committee that I have at this point. So you're already sworn in. If you want to just continue speaking on your own behalf, you may. If there are witnesses that you wanted to call, you may do so as well.
I actually have my kids and my ex-husband here.
Okay.
We can start with Keisha.
All right. So come on up to the front here. Grab the microphone, raise your right hand, and I'll swear you in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you. You may have a seat.
Right here?
Mhm.
Okay.
Hi, Keisha. Keisha, how would you see Minnie at home?
Friendly.
How long has he been with us?
Couple months now.
Would you say he's a mean dog, aggressive, a good dog?
A good dog.
Okay. Do you play around with Minnie?
Yes.
Has he ever growled at you?
No.
And you play with him, correct?
Yeah. He
Eh.
slept with me for a couple nights when he moved in.
Oh yeah, because I was working third shift.
Yeah.
How do you find this incident with Colin? Like, what do you think about it?
I didn't expect it to ever happen.
Okay. I think that's all I have for you.
Okay.
Do you have any? No? Okay.
Nope.
I thought he was going to take a turn.
Nope, that's all right.
My next one is Ashton Gall.
All right.
Oh, you can push my chair in. I'm sorry.
And if Ms. Cortez, if it would be easier to be seated at all, please let me know. We can bring a microphone.
I do want to sit down.
Okay, we'll do that.
Thank you.
Could we maybe just have them trade spots?
I thought it was,
Yeah, we could do that. Yeah. Just, yeah.
oh, okay. Wait. It was like a workout right there.
All right. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Hi, Ashton. Oh, this is loud. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Is there a volume button?
No.
Oh. Ashton, how would you recall Minnie at our house?
A good dog.
Have you ever seen him be aggressive or act different from aside of this incident?
No.
Do you play with him?
Yes.
And you take him outside and stuff like that?
Yes.
Have you ever slept with him?
Yeah.
Has he ever showed any unusual behavior?
Nope.
Outside of that, how would you describe Minnie?
Playful, wonderful, good dog. Like, he's really nice.
Okay, that's it from my side.
All right, Ashton, did you say your last name is Cortez?
No, go.
Gall, okay. Thanks. Chief Semple, do you have any questions?
No, thank you.
All right, Ms. Cortez, who's next?
Timothy Gall?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Hi, can you describe Minnie for me?
Good dog, playful, doesn't show any aggression that I've ever seen.
Okay.
And I'm there 3 times a week, usually, so.
Have you taken him outside?
Yes, just before we even got here.
Has he ever tried to run away from you or be aggressive with you when you take him out?
No, you can actually let him outside off the leash and he'll stay right by you.
Out of all the times that you've been at our house, has he ever showed unusual behavior?
No.
And he's always a friendly dog?
Yeah, I play with him all the time, throw a ball around.
Okay, that's it for me.
All right, thank you. Any cross?
No, thanks.
Anyone else?
Lita? She's my youngest.
And what is your name, please?
Lita Gall.
Okay, hi. Can you, raise your right hand? Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Hi, Lita. So, out of all the times that you've been in my house, has Minnie ever been aggressive, mean, or anything in that matter?
Not once.
Do you play with them?
Almost all the time.
Do you play catch with them?
Yeah.
You've taken him outside. Have you taken him outside?
Yes.
Has he ever tried to run away from you?
Not at all.
How does he act when you walk in the door?
He usually just runs towards me because he wants me to pet him and start playing with him right away.
Okay. Have you ever slept with Minnie?
Yes.
I'm trying to think here. I think that's it. I can't recall anything else.
Do you have any other witnesses?
No, that should be it.
All right. Is there any other?
Oh, Anthony wants to come up.
All right. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yep.
Thank you.
Anthony, out of the whole time that you've had Minnie for, has he ever at once showed aggressiveness behavior or any unusual behavior?
No, never.
And how many times, how long have you had him before you?
I've had him for like 2 years, and I feel like out of the 2 years, I've had him around like different kinds of people, all people, different animals, and
No, it's okay. Do you need a break?
Okay. So I don't want to presume if you're done with your case, then we can move into closed session and deliberate.
Closing arguments first.
You'd like to do closing arguments first? All right. Is there anything more that you'd like to present?
Wait, I can testify myself, right?
Yes, I asked. Yeah, I thought that you had done that, but you may testify if there's more you'd like to say. I'm going to swear you in again.
Because I would like to describe what the whole night, how from the minute that the ICE packaged you to the hospital.
Raise your right hand if you want to do that.
Okay. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I swear.
All right.
Okay, on the night of October 12th, I had to think about the date. So there's a lot of things that I forgot to mention. That night, when Colin came into the room when we were relaxing, he, like I said, he went for the ice pack, and he, that's when Minnie had growled at him, and 10-15 minutes later, after he took him outside and stuff like that, he came back. I had reminded him to put the cone on Minnie, but instead for some reason, he gave him a hug. After that incident happened, because I had heard other people, that some people lied to the hospital. That's why I was asking him about, the incident at the hospital, what Colin had said. Because some people say that they'll end up giving them put downer or something like that. And I had asked Colin at first, to cover it up and say it wasn't Minnie. I talked to Kayla Bear, and she works for Critic Care now. I was talking to her about the whole incident, and she said most likely that what had happened was that Minnie was protecting me because I was laying in my bed. And as I described, he's always with me everywhere, car rides. We go to Starbucks, and he always gets a pub cup, McDonald's, where he gets a plain burger. He's like I said, he's spoiled, and he always sleeps with me and stuff like that. And after this incident, my son had said to start using a spray bottle when he, acts out of character or, stuff like that, because he doesn't like it, as a training technique to get him to sit or roll over and stuff like that, but he never misbehaved at the house. And I just recently bought a dog house, and I thought this dog house was cool because this dog house has a gate. And sorry, my ADHD went away. So at the hospital, I had told Colin to have changed to lie so Minnie wouldn't get in trouble. And that's on me. It's my responsibility of fear of, they were going to put him down. And after speaking with Kayla, she told me that he would get 3 chances. And from that, that's what got me to tell Colin, okay, because, I told Colin, I'm like, all right, just be honest with them. Because at first, I don't like to lie. And I told him, I was like, let them know that it was Minnie, because, I thought 3 chances, and they would deem him or put him down, because this is the first time in however long Anthony's had him and I had him. So it would probably be like over 3 years, one time. And I do honestly believe that Colin must have provoked him in that 15 minutes of hugging him, because he could have been hugging him tight, or he didn't want to hug anymore. Because as one of the people at Critter Care told me, dogs don't love hugs. But that's the thing with Minnie, is he loves me when I give him hugs. And when my son, because there's times that my son takes him on the weekends, because he works Monday through Friday, second shift, and he's done at 12, and they don't have time to, spend time with him and stuff like that, because he loves his dog. On the weekends, he does take Minnie, and he takes him for a while, a day or a couple hours, and when he comes back, in the beginning, he used to be sad, like where he would want to give me a hug, and I know to some people it's like they wouldn't believe it, but he does give me a hug, like literally goes between my legs, and, like I'll give him a hug and he hugs me back. And so that's why I had asked Anthony for the weekend to please take Colin or Minnie for a couple times, because I knew that Minnie was depressed, because they're best friends. That's his best friend's his best friend. A dog's, how do you say that saying where a dog's your best friend or something like that? That's them two. Anthony, wherever he went, he would take Minnie. And now that's me. I take him everywhere. I take him, you know, I let him sit in the car for the 15 minutes. I have an appointment with the window down, have water and food in there. Everywhere, like I said, everywhere I take him, you know. But there was something that I did notice, because Colin does come home and he drinks. And he will say random things, and sometimes it's offensive, and sometimes he tries to pressure us to talk to him sometimes when he's drinking. Like, he thinks it's something to be cool about. It's not. I've told him so many times, dude, like, why do you drink? You know, I know, like, some people use drinking as, you know, something as a, how do you call it, mechanism from what you're going through, you know? Like, you can't talk to somebody. Colin has a lot of people to talk to. He has Officer Chris. He has, you know, there's teachers that reach out to him and stuff like that. And I honestly believe that day when Colin hugged Minnie, he must have hugged him hard, because that dog has never bit anybody. And till this day, he, you know, aside of this incident with Colin, he's never bit anybody else. He's never scratched anybody. All he wants is to be petted, hugged, kissed. At my house, that's all he gets from me, you know, because the kids are gone, you know, like teenagers are, you know, they're not home. They have, you know, their life of their own. I'm home, stuck at home, you know, with this surgery, you know, and I'm there. Everywhere I go, he's with me, and I know he's taking care of me when I'm hurting, because he doesn't run off ahead of me. He doesn't go to the other room. Wherever I go, he makes sure I get there. Like, when I go to the bathroom in the morning at 2 a.m., anywhere I go, he's following me. That's how I know that dog cares for me when nobody's there, because I don't ever see anybody else or any other dog that's not a dog that helps their owners. I forgot what those are called. I was thinking about actually getting him one of those vests, because he does take care of me. And when I feel like there's times where, because there has been times because of the medication I take, the hydrocodone with amphetamine and the Cymbalta, the Lyrica, there's times where I don't eat and I get dizzy, and, you know, he's there. He'll put his head on my lap or in my hand. You know, it's like, it's so hard, you know, like, to have an animal that cares about you when your kids aren't around, you know? And that's why it's so hard, you know, that this incident happened, because, like I said, I honestly believe Colin provoked him, because he does drink every day. He drinks every day. And he doesn't know what he's doing half the time. And he thinks it's cool or whatever. And it's like, you know, it took him like a day or two, and him and Minnie were like back to being best friends. And Minnie knew what he did was wrong. He knew, because he sat there and he thought that nobody loved him, but when we all loved him, you know? And for us to keep our distance, well, I did it because I know he loved me, and he does love my kids. But that incident kind of scares them, because, you know, what if it did it to him, or, you know, and they distanced them from him, you know, and he was just trying to play catch and play and stuff like that with them, and they wouldn't want to go near him because of that. So I had to keep him in my room because they were scared of him. But after a while, they started playing with him all over again. It took time, but they realized, you know, that he's not this vicious dog. You know, he was trying to protect me. He thought Colin was going to hurt me. And there's been times where me and Colin fought. We fought, and we never fought in front of a dog or other people, but we fought, you know? And it was always me trying to get Colin to do better with his life, you know, because drinking's not, he wanted to be in the Army, and, you know, he got in trouble and he lost his opportunity. So, you know, this kid is like, you know, it's so hard. I push this kid every day. I called the police, and in the records that I got, I forgot where they are, but you can see in that transcript how many times I called the police on him. How many times I had text Officer Chris for him, because I love this kid, even though he thinks that every single time we fight that I don't love him.
And I told him, I'm like, if I didn't love you, I wouldn't be pushing you. I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't let you live here because ain't nobody gonna want to deal with you with the way that you are, drinking all the time when there's more to life than drinking. So it kind of hurts that, you know, I don't know what he did, if he did something or whatever, because like I said, he comes home drinking all the time. And he thinks it's like the coolest thing. He missed his sister's birthday on Saturday because he was drinking at a work conference or whatever. And it's like his sister just turned 15. We had a quince for her and he wasn't there. And it's like, come on, dude, like this is your sister. Drinking and work is not everything. Your family is everything. You know, I'm not close with my sisters and I wish I was again. But we see each other when we see each other. But I'm trying to make sure that all these kids have each other when me and their dad leave. Because there ain't nobody else going to be there for them. And Minnie's like the best dog we have. And Princess, but
Thank you.
mostly Minnie.
Thank you. Chief Semple, do you have any closing statement?
I do. I just want to say that I actually have some personal experience with having to put a dog down who bit, and so I can understand how difficult this is and how tough it is to pets become a member of the family. But I would say there's no indication that Colin treated the dog any differently than any other family member, and as a result, I think the risk is too high, not just for the family, but also for the community, to allow Minnie to continue to be kept in the city of Sheboygan, especially when there's a history of dogs not being well contained there and getting out and running at large. And we've heard evidence and testimony that Minnie has maybe exhibited some aggressiveness towards people he doesn't know well. And I guess I would point out that if this is the way he treats someone that he lives with, who plays with him, who has let him out and has been responsible for feeding him, what would we expect from a dog to encounter someone that they're not familiar with? Unfortunately, dogs are very unpredictable. And as much as their behavior can be sweet and not aggressive at all in certain settings, unfortunately, I think when a dog exhibits this kind of behavior, the risk just becomes too high. And I would also point out that this is not simply a defensive nip to the hand or even to the shoulder or something like that. Rather, the dog latched on to Colin's neck and caused a serious injury and held on to that bite for, rather than a fraction of a second that a defensive nip might be, latched on and held on for more than a second. And that doesn't seem like a long time, but I imagine it probably was for Colin. And so I think the criteria have been satisfied that the dog both caused a serious injury and that it was a bite to the neck or face, and that the declaration for a vicious dog is justified. Thank you.
Thank you. So at this point, I will recap the evidence on the record. We have 3 exhibits. Exhibits 1 and 2 are photos of Colin and his injury. Exhibit 3 is a veterinary patient chart document. Is there any other exhibit that has not been addressed today?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I forgot about it. I have an album I printed out these couple days ago. Photos of Minnie with other people. Random pictures with the dogs and stuff like that.
Did you want that to be part of the record?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I forgot to.
Okay. Could someone bring it up? And we'll mark that as Exhibit 4.
Thank you.
And then at this point, we would welcome a motion to convene in closed session.
So when you make the motion, please read the whole motion.
I'm sorry, Chief Semple, do you have any objection to receiving a photo album?
I don't.
Okay.
I make a motion that we,
read the whole motion.
where is a motion written down?
In the agenda, I can pull it up real quick.
There was something that I forgot to say.
At this point, we've got evidence closed, though.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I just wanted to let you know.
Motion to convene in closed session under the exemption contained in Wisconsin State Statute 19.85, subsection 1A, for the purpose of deliberating regarding the appeal of Amity Gall.
Second.
All right, Alder Lefebvre made the motion. Alder Boris made the second. All in favor of convening closed session, state aye.
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 All opposed, chair votes aye. We will reconvene in closed session when we are done. Thank you.
It's crazy how expensive they are. It's such a small thing. Yes, it does a lot. Right. It's just not. Let's not be serious. Yes. Oh, right. Yeah, I was being sure about it. So I just said that. But that's the only kind of. Yeah, right. Just ask, how's it being paid for? Is it okay? Yeah, so you read the last paragraph. Yeah, it's coming from the 21. I have a couple. On these notes. Sure. Well,
We're connected at the staff.
yeah, so they would. Oh, wait. This one down. Get your story of your record. Even though it's good. It's still a good story. I can say yes or no, or, you know, and they might fight it and say, oh, I need to do this or. But you're the final. Right.
All right, I'm looking for a motion to reconvene.
I make a motion to reconvene into open session.
Alder LaFave made the motion. Alder Boris made the second. All in favor of reconvening open session, state aye.
Aye.
Chair votes aye. We're reconvening. All right. So I read this or do I make, is this a motion? All right. I make a motion to affirm initial determination with direction to release to the Humane Society's care for good faith effort to rehome outside of the city and to euthanize if those efforts are not successful.
Second.
Alder Russ made the motion. Alder Boris made the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. That is what is going to happen.
So I will work with the committee chair to put this affirmation in writing and to follow the remaining process within the municipal code. Does the committee wish to set a deadline to return the dog to the Humane Society? I would recommend that the committee impose a deadline by which the owner has to comply.
Is there any idea on a deadline? Otherwise, we could say.
Motion to do it within a week, within 7 days.
I'm sorry, a little louder.
Sorry.
I propose that it is implemented within max 7 days.
Second.
Alder Perla made a motion. Alder LaFave made the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And then finally, do we want to make a motion to require that the animal be quarantined, leashed and muzzled, et cetera, during those 7 days pending release to the Humane Society?
I move that the dog be leashed all times outside of the home until released to the Humane Society.
Second.
Alder Russ made the motion. Alder Boris made the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Chair votes aye. You will get some documentation from the city, and I assume the police department is, well, will the police department be the one following up?
Yes.
Okay. So with the city and the police department. We do not want Minnie to be euthanized. This is the best course of action for us without putting Minnie down. I just want you to know that. Our ordinances are pretty strict on this, and this is the best way to make sure that Minnie will be all right. And hopefully the Humane Society can find foster or another community or a rescue that will help. They cannot live in the city.
Correct.
Yep. Yep. And then we would need proof of where they live and such things just so that it's, we know. Would that be possible within this? Yeah, that we could do that within the 7 days. Yeah. Yep. All right. Thank you.
Because it would be, because it would not be, the Humane Society provides certain records to the police department. So if you're going to do a private relocation, you would need to provide some type of proof that you've accomplished that.
So I would come to City Hall and contact Attorney Majerus, and she can guide you through that process, right? All right. All right, thank you. All right, to the meat of the meeting. Item number 10, Report 25-25-26 by Fire Chief Eric Montellano, pursuant to Section 24-459 of the Municipal Code, submitting the quarterly report showing the benchmark measurements for the fire department for the period commencing July 1st, 2025 and ending September 30th, 2025. Chief?
This was admitted as an exhibit as part of the proceeding. Do you want the photos taken? Well, we could take the photos out of the album if you wanted to take the album back.
Oh, no, I can, oh, no, I just wanted it for myself. I can take
Could we?
Okay.
Or I was going to say,
I
could we
could-
make copies?
I could make copies and
And then you
return
can-
this album to you if you would like. Okay.
Yep.
Chief. Thank you, Chair. So everybody should have the reports. I did just want to point out a few bullet points here. We are on track, 321 calls over this point last year. So we continue to increase our call volume. This, one of our overlapping incident projections that I usually give, we were at 70-some%. We are now at 84% of the incidents overlapping. So our fire training hours continue to increase due to our refinement in our tracking software, which is great. And we are almost complete with our fire inspections for this quarter. So I'll be glad to answer any questions.
Do we have any questions? Alder Perella.
Just briefly, Chief, the school safety training seems to have decreased it, right? I mean, you decided to decrease it for whatever reason. The school safety training, I can see that, if I recall correctly, that is a little bit lower. Is that right?
So yes. So we were just starting out when this report was done, so we are actually wrapping them up this month as well. It is all truly based on the number of students in the class, and so it doesn't mean we are cutting back. It's just there's not as many students that we're impacting because the classes might be smaller. Does that make sense?
So do you do this training in schools directly? You go to the school?
Correct.
Right.
For certain grades, yep. I believe it's K through 5th grade. We go to the schools. It might be 4th grade, but yep. And some schools, we have private or charter schools that come to the station as well. And then also some homeschool children, they schedule that all in one day. So it's all dependent on the number of enrollments.
The number of the kids. That's a very nice program, and I was just wondering if you measure success of that program. I mean, if, for example, do you have a way to measure success of that program? I think it's a great program, and I wanted to make sure that you have enough resources as far as personnel and everything. So that's the reason of my question about why this seems to be a little less. If it wasn't because you have not enough resources for that. And again, I would be interested in knowing if you measure success, for example, how much the kids appreciate it or anything else.
So thank you for asking, Alder Perella. It is a little difficult to measure success as far as, because it's all about fire safety, being safe in the home, how to exit, what to do in case there's an emergency. So it's hard to quantify that. However, we have had several, if I can say, children call and dial 911 and get help for an adult. So it has been successful in that. As far as the number, this is impacting our ability to perform because of our higher call volume, and our crews are doing it on duty. But eventually, we will have to have a discussion, as we've said many times, as we get busier and busier. There's only so many hours in the day and things that I can do with the current staffing. But I appreciate you asking.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Any other questions, comments? Alrighty. Is this a motion to file? Yeah. I am looking for a motion to file.
Motion to file.
Second.
Alder Lefebvre made the motion. Alder Perella made the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. That is filed. All right. Item number 11, Report 26-25-26 by the Sheboygan Police Department pursuant to Section 30-50 of the Sheboygan Municipal Code, submitting the quarterly report showing the benchmark measurements for the police department for the period commencing July 1st, 2025 and ending September 30th, 2025. Chief.
Thank you. I know it's been a lengthier committee meeting here, but if I just wanted to take a couple of minutes and talk about not only what's in the report, but just to put it in a little bit more historical context for everyone. And if you don't mind, I'd just like to do a little survey with everybody. So if you can think what your answer would be to the question whether murder rates have gone up or down or are about the same since 1990. How many of you would say they're up? How many of you would say they're down? Okay. And how many of you would say they're about the same? Okay. What about violent crime? Same questions. Up, down, or
Down.
about the same? So this is a question that Gallup and the FBI have been asking communities or people, survey participants for decades. The answer is almost always for survey participants that crime has gone up and murder has gone up. The reality is much, much different. And there's this, for whatever reason, a gap in what the perception about crime rates are versus what the actual experience of crime is. And this is true nationwide. And you can see just the history of whether violent crime or murder have gone up or down. The green boxes in the second and third columns would show that it did not go up. And the red ones are when it did. And so really over the course of the last, this just goes back 20 years, the trend has been very, very favorable. And the trend since 1990 is actually much steeper. Just putting that in our local context, I just wanted to address sometimes that people, we hear comments about how crime is out of control in Sheboygan and that people should feel unsafe because of things that have happened. And while I think that there are sometimes sensational events that attract a lot of attention, the reality is that Sheboygan is an extremely safe community, and I just wanted to highlight some of that for you. So this is, especially when it comes to property crime, overall, that includes, again, crimes against property, crimes that aren't against a person. So things like arson, burglary, where somebody breaks into a house or building to steal something, fraud, criminal theft, criminal damage to property, retail theft, thefts from auto, things like that. And you can see that the trend is down considerably, and we're going to experience another down year this year as well as it relates to property crime. With regard to burglaries, I think this is probably the area where Sheboygan should be the proudest of the progress that it's made. You can see just data back 13 years. This year we're on pace for 28 burglaries. Last year it was 44. Those are remarkably low numbers, almost unbelievably low numbers. And if you go back just a few more years past where this graph goes, back in 2008, we had a peak of 430 burglaries. And so to be down something like 95% from that high is just really remarkable. And again, I think it's something the community should be proud of because when it comes to preventing burglaries, it's not just about us catching bad guys and holding them responsible so they don't commit more. It's about people engaging residents, engaging in safety practices like locking their doors and turning lights on and making sure that things valuables aren't easily accessible to be stolen. I would point out that the statewide trend for property crimes is not as good as this. It's down. So overall, our property crime numbers are down about 59% since 2012. I don't have 2024 numbers yet for statewide crime numbers, but from 2012 to 2023, it was only about 40%. And so there's something different that Sheboygan can, I think, take credit for when it comes to property crimes. Theft from vehicle, this is another category that's extremely preventable. Again, if people lock their car doors, don't keep valuables in their cars, maybe park where the lighting is better if that's possible, and certainly not leave the keys in the car unlocked, parked on the street. That's something that has a significant impact on whether people are going to be a victim of a crime. And what we've seen over the course of the last couple of decades is that is also a significant downward trend. The one area that I've talked to you about before that's a little bit stubborn for us is aggravated assault or assaults in general. So assault is, again, where assault is a very broad category of crime. It includes crimes where somebody actually hurts someone else, in other words, like a battery under Wisconsin statutes. It can also include simply threatening to hurt someone else. And so it's a very, very broad category. It can include pointing a gun at someone or threatening somebody with a knife. All those most things are included in that category. And as you can see, there's been just kind of fluctuation over the years. This has been true really for as far back as we go. The good news is that these are still relatively very low numbers, and that we don't experience a lot of violent crime in Sheboygan. And especially when it comes to homicide, our numbers are usually either 0, 1, or 2. And it's very rare that it's even a 2. And so violent crime in Sheboygan is extremely rare. The other thing I would point out here is that while we had, again, some events that I think attracted a lot of attention, the darker portion of the bars that you see there is the portion that was committed by a stranger. And so I should also point out that these numbers really aren't reliable until after 2017, when we transitioned to incident-based reporting. So the older model of reporting did not require that information, and so it wasn't consistently coded that way before 2017. But as you can see, since 2017, it's right around 10% of our assaults of any kind that are committed by a stranger. And so, again, while violent crime overall is very low, the likelihood of someone becoming a victim of a stranger assault in Sheboygan is also incredibly low. And if you look at the bottom, there's some tables that have information about how those incidents are broken down. The last column, the relationship field, you can see that the vast majority of our crime is related to, in this category, is related to intimate partner violence, so domestic violence and things like that, where oftentimes the victim and suspect are known to each other. The last thing, I think that might be driving some of the perception of crime is that we seem to have more crime that more aggravated assault that involves a gun, and so obviously those tend to attract a little more attention and maybe make people feel unsafe. And so again, before 2017, I can't really vouch for the reliability of those numbers because of the transition in the way that we reported and what was required to be reported prior to that. Under the uniform crime reporting model to the FBI. But since that time, you can see the trend has been upward with gun-involved crime. I don't really have a commentary on that. I think the thing that I have been coming back to is that if you don't engage in risky behavior in Sheboygan, your likelihood of becoming a victim of any kind of crime is extremely low. If you don't engage in heavy drinking or drug dealing, your likelihood of becoming a victim of a crime is extremely low in Sheboygan. And so I just wanted to share that with a little bit extra context with the quarterly report, and you're welcome to ask any other questions in addition to that.
Alder Heidemann.
Thank you, Chair. Hotspot crime patrols, 482 on here. I mean, it's a massive jump. Just wondering why.
Yes. So this year we set some specific goals for proactive activity. That was one that we specifically were going to start tracking. And so hotspot crime patrols essentially are we have, for example, officers, if we have perhaps some car break-ins that are occurring in a particular area, they'll go spend time in that area to try to identify people who are involved, to try to show presence there, to not only potentially catch people that might be doing it or identify them, but also reassure that area, the neighborhood there, that we're present. And that's just one type of hotspot crime that would involve. If there's a problem house or something like that, it might also fit into that category. And so some of it, I think, is just better tracking. People are reporting that they're engaging in that activity more because they know it's one of our goals this year.
Thank you.
Yep.
Alder Boris.
Sure. Chief, the number I think that strikes me as the most surprising on the aggravated assaults are that the number of assaults in bars or nightclubs is significantly lower than the number of assaults that occur in elementary and secondary schools. I think it was 20 versus mid-50s. Can you speak to what type of activity we're doing in all the schools in the community in order to try to help improve that statistic? I mean, it's kind of shocking to see 20 in bars around town, knowing how many bars we have versus how many schools we have, right? So can you speak to that, please?
Yeah, I think there's probably two aspects to that. One is that we engaged in a specific program starting in about 2021 to specifically address assaults associated with bars. And so it was that year that we received an overtime grant, and we initiated foot patrols in and around bars to try to prevent that type of incident from happening. In the first year of that, we saw our bar-related assaults go down about 30%. And even though the grant funding has not it expired, or we weren't able to apply for it since then. We've continued that model, and I think that's a reason why we continue to not experience significant problems with assaults around bars as in the past. I think when it comes to school assaults, I think so we have school resource officers at all 3 elementary schools and our 2 high schools, our 2 public high schools. And so there's a lot of efforts with school resource officers trying to build relationships with students to mediate disputes that happen before they become assaults, and then to try to deal with combining school sanctions with juvenile justice sanctions to make sure that there are consequences so the behavior doesn't continue. I think in our experience, what has happened is that after COVID, in particular, kids kind of forgot how to live together in school and get along. And so since that time, there's definitely been an increase in school-related assaults. Again, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but the impression I get is that it's on the way back down, though, that those school-related assaults were pretty significant a couple of years ago and are coming down since then.
Thank you.
Yep.
Alder Perella.
First of all, I'm very thank you for the additional information you presented, and also I'm very pleased about the major positive numbers, decreases. I just was thinking about what you said about it is not only your great work, but it is also, at least for some crimes, it is also the fact that we may be more vigilant, or we are vigilant, we watch out for, look out for our neighbors and so on. Do you think that, without deviating too much, that having neighborhood associations and having that type of work around neighbors has a positive impact? And would you then suggest that we should then invest more in those neighborhood associations? My speculation, not data-driven at this point, is that those are very helpful for that specific type of outcome, meaning being more aware of our neighborhood and more aware of our neighbors and have some positive relationship around. And in my experience, is perhaps the biggest positive outcome of those associations. But I would be very interested in your opinion specifically on that.
So the theoretical concept that you're talking about, not to get too far into the weeds here, is called collective efficacy. That's what the academic research calls it. And essentially what the theory is that if you can increase the collective efficacy of neighborhoods to be able to deal with crime and disorder problems, to prevent them, or to really discourage those things from happening in neighborhoods, that's where you see the best crime reduction and prevention happen. And that is very much a philosophy that we subscribe to. I think that neighborhood associations are one way to accomplish that, but it's not the only way. And I think our experience in Sheboygan has been that when we want to work with neighborhood associations, and we think it's a huge positive, and that kind of cooperation really can be a huge contributor to our success when it comes to safety and vibrancy in neighborhoods. People are just happier better and safer when they know each other in their neighborhoods. That's 100% true. But I think we also see in other parts of the city where there aren't neighborhood associations that we're still seeing people engage in good prevention behaviors, and that there's more people occupying public spaces and things like that that help with prevention and deterrence as well. So it's certainly a big part of the answer, I think.
Thank you.
Alder Lefebvre.
Yes, I'm just actually have a comment, and we've discussed this before, Chief. I think the idea of having dedicated officers for certain neighborhoods so that they can get out there and they can be known creates a feeling of safety. I know it has for many of my constituents. So I applaud and I encourage the police department to continue that program because I know it works.
And if you watch the video that the IACP, the International Association of Chiefs of Police, did about our department and our community, that was one of the things that was very much highlighted because, unfortunately, I think it's still a little bit unique. But I'm firmly convinced that it's been a huge key to our success when it comes to crime and safety in Sheboygan.
So am I.
Great. I did want to mention just one other thing I didn't mention earlier. So including the numbers about assaults and seeing how that kind of has some historical undulation. Sometimes there are accusations that we're cooking the books, right? That's how we've been able to show such huge reductions in crime. To me, the area to try to cook the books would be with violent crime, right? And that's clearly not happening. And so I just think it's important, again, to be transparent about that, that we really, we've been audited 3 times in the last 10 years with regard to our crime statistics. And each time we've passed that audit. There are sometimes minor things that they'll point out, like a type of stolen property wasn't coded as the right type. It was household goods instead of electronics or something like that. But certainly nothing that would indicate that crimes are being discouraged from being reported as they were reported to us. So.
All right. Thanks, Chief.
You bet. Thank you.
All right. I'm looking for a motion to file. Alder Lefebvre made the motion. Alder Perla made the second. All in favor? Aye. Chair votes aye. That is approved. Item number 12, resolution number 121-25-26 by Alderpersons Rustin Lefebvre authorizing acceptance of the FY 2025 Office of Community-Oriented Policing Services hiring program grant. Chief?
I know you've heard a lot from me tonight, and I do appreciate you let me take a few minutes to explain the quarterly report as well. So I think you all are aware, just based on budget discussions already, that we opted to apply for the Community-Oriented Policing Services hiring grant. This is a grant that comes from the United States Department of Justice. It's been around for a long time. This came out in the mid-1990s, and the purpose of the grant is really to provide extra staffing to enhance or in some cases start community policing oriented activities for communities. Again, we just talked about the success that we've had. Clearly the Department of Justice agreed that we were worth supporting to continue to enhance our neighborhood policing efforts, and so the grant was written for 3 additional positions, and they awarded us the grant. The grant is for $125,000 total per officer for the 3-year life of the grant. That's a total of $125,000, not each year. And so, while it requires a 25% match from the local awarded agency, in reality for us, the grant will pay for about 40% of the cost of each officer over the life of the grant. It also includes a requirement that the positions be maintained for a period of 12 months after the 3-year grant period is up. And so, again, the budget, from my understanding, was drafted in the expectation that we would receive the grant at that level. And so those positions, once you vote to approve the 2026 city budget, will be funded for our share of that grant.
Any questions? Alder Bors.
Thank you, Chair. Just for clarification, when you say 40%, is that 40% of salary or is that 40% of like fully loaded, including benefits?
That includes all of the fringe and benefits and everything, yep.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
All right. Otherwise, I am looking for a motion. Oh, Alder Perella.
I
Yep,
pass.
you're good. Oh, okay. Otherwise, I'm still looking for a motion. All right, I move to approve the resolution. All right, Alder Russ made the motion, Alder Perella made the second. All in favor? Chair votes aye, that's approved. Item number 13, General Ordinance number 28-25-26 by Alderpersons Rust and LaFave, amending various sections of the Sheboygan Municipal Code so as to increase fees charged by the police department. Attorney Majerus.
Thank you. In review of several ordinances in preparation for the budget, a few different fees that were pretty outdated were evaluated for increase, and that's what is presented to you today.
All right, any questions? Oh, hold on. Chief Zempel first.
Excuse me. I just wanted to add that the fees that were changed, we did do a little bit of investigation with neighboring agencies, and they are consistent.
Okay, thank you. Alder LaFave.
So basically, you're saying just we're revising these because of inflation.
Correct.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Seeing none, I'm looking for a motion. I move to approve the ordinance.
Second.
Alder Russ made the motion. Alder Perella made the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye. It's approved. Item number 14, General Ordinance number 25-25-26 by Alderpersons Rust and LaFave, amending Section 40-55 of the Sheboygan Municipal Code so as to allow alcohol at Wildwood Athletic Complex. Attorney Majerus.
Thank you. Wildwood Athletic Complex hosts a lot of events. They typically operate under an alcohol license for the facility. This cleans up the municipal code to clarify where alcohol may be sold or consumed.
Any questions? Alder LaFave.
This, I've got kids that play softball, and they go down there a lot, and they can get a beer there. This is changing how? Because it always seems as if you could drink fermented beverages down there.
This is just fixing a provision in the code to make sure that it's all consistent.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Seeing no other cues.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All right. Alder Boris made the motion. Alder Perella made the second. All in favor?
Aye.
Chair votes aye, that's approved. Item number 15, General Ordinance number 27-25-26 by Alderpersons Rust and LaFave, amending various sections within Chapter 12 of the Sheboygan Municipal Code. Attorney Majerus.
Thank you. The provisions at play in this proposed amendment are updates to reflect changes to administrative code numbers, changes to reflect state level certifications, credentials, those sorts of things. So just to be in compliance with the state regulations.
Any questions? Seeing none, I'm looking for a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, Alder Boris made the motion. Alder LaFave made the second. All in favor? Aye. Chair votes aye. That is approved. Our next meeting will be November 10th. Alder LaFave, would you like to do the honor?
Yes, I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Alder LaFave made the motion. Alder Boris made the second. We are adjourned at 6:15. Thank you, everybody.